Hello everyone, this video is about Safiyyah's quick guide and her skill showcase. Hope you enjoy. First off, Safiyyah's trait, Tony Rose. At the start of the turn, Safiyyah locks onto one random enemy within 4 tiles of herself and inflicts the Handman mark for one turn. Attacking enemies with the Handman mark deals additional physical damage equal to 16% of the target's HP, but no more than 150% of Safiyyah's physical attack. Changes to the previous star. At 2 star, Safiyyah generates additional 50% lifesteal. At 3 star, she deals additional 8% of the target's HP, but no more than additional 25% of Safiyyah's physical attack. At 4 star, she inflicts the Handman mark for one additional turn and generates additional 25% lifesteal. At 5 star, she locks onto within 2 additional tiles of herself, deals additional 8% of the target's HP, but no more than additional 25% of Safiyyah's physical attack. Now for Safiyyah's initial skill, Hunting Impulse. This is a useful initial skill until you upgrade her ranks and obtain skills that will be vital to her usefulness and survivability. Now for her rank 1 skills. On the left we have Settlement of the Hangman, on the right we have Shadow Assault. Settlement of the Hangman is a very useful passive skill that deals additional piercing damage when the target is in a dying state. Most of the time this ends up executing the enemy, which can be a lifesaver in dangerous situations. This can be triggered by attacks including instant sudden strike from Flying Blade Arm Guard for example, and a piercing damage buff from the Cause of Fortune Tarot. Shadow Assault on the other hand is a less beneficial skill compared to the other. My personal preference will be the left Settlement of the Hangman skill. Next, for her rank 3 skills, on the left we have Shadowless Blade, on the right we have Tactic Adjustment. Both skills are Safiyyah's exclusive skills that provide a lot of utility to her playstyle. Safiyyah can survive in the front lines with Shadowless Blade for one turn, in addition to be able to inflict vulnerable 2 debuffs. Tactic Adjustment is situational useful skill that enables Safiyyah to change her role and counter against enemies accordingly. It also gives her damage decrease with movement increase. My personal preference will be Shadowless Blade and using a Castelia on Tactic Adjustment. For Safiyyah's rank 5 skills, on the left we have Blade Chase, on the right we have Vital Guard. Blade Chase is considered a ranged attack, as such using it in certain scenarios like Weaponry Trial 2 will trigger its counter attack. Blade Chase is good for adding more damage to Safiyyah's kit, though it can only be activated once per round. Vital Guard on the other hand enables survivability for Safiyyah, especially in the front lines, but most of the time you would bring a healer or a tank with assisting cover. My personal preference will be the left Blade Chase. Next, for her rank 7 skills, on the left we have Anti-Espionage Order, on the right we have HM Commander. Both skills are very useful, especially Anti-Espionage Order. Other than inflicting debuffs and applying the mark, the summoned unit HM Agent can attack and even act as a decoy for dangerous situations. Important skill of HM Agent is his escape, able to swap position with a target ally. This has a huge range of 7 tiles and height range of 8. In addition, he will deal AoE damage applying 2 level 2 attribute debuffs when he disappears after the second turn. HM Commander is an aura that stacks with Leader's Aura, useful in providing additional attack benefiting the team so long the enemies have the mark. My personal preference will be Anti-Espionage Order and using one Castelia on HM Commander. For Safiyyah's rank 9 skills, on the left we have Sealing Attack, on the right we have Team Attack. For the basic attack, Team Attack grants Speed 3 buff, which is very useful in fights, especially for slower units. Although it only applies to the closest ally, if the situation allows, you can always reposition Safiyyah to be close to the chosen ally. Sealing Attack is a useful basic attack that inflicts no passive skills but only on injured targets. My personal preference is the right Team Attack, but this is up to player's preference. For Safiyyah's rank 11 skills, on the left we have Army Bane Blade, and on right we have Weapon Eroder. Both skills are useful in their own way. My personal preference is Weapon Eroder as it can inflict attack 2 down debuff for dealing high piercing damage. Army Bane Blade currently is only available to Stinger and Safiyyah. It is able to inflict high damage and inflicts no assist on the target. This can be very useful in situations where there are enemy tanks providing their annoying assisting cover every turn. Rank 11 skills is up to player preference. For her skills summary, my personal preference will have Safiyyah's unit icon. For rank 3 and rank 7, I will be using a Castelia on the other skills. Rank 9 and rank 11 is up to player's preference. Her builds and skill loadout. For the first one is a dodge and offensive build, have a chance to execute dying state enemies. She is able to provide debuffs and summons the HM agent. For the second, which she acts as a debuffer and a buffer, she has a dodge capability and able to inflict Hangman Mark in addition to having the attack aura on enemies with the mark. For the third, piercing buffer and debuffer build, if Safiyyah doesn't have a chance to get attacked, Shadowless Blade can be replaced by Weapon Eroder for example, to deal piercing damage and attack 2 down debuffs. The usefulness of Anti-Espionage Order for summoning HM agent is very high, thus this skill is used for all builds. This allows for tactical use of Safiyyah. For Safiyyah's equipment, her one-handed weapon. The top choice for Safiyyah will be the Newborn Blade as it increases her physical attack. This sword is easier to obtain than Ever-Burning Blade, and there will be a high chance of it that you have a 5-star. Another top choice for Safiyyah will be the Ever-Burning Blade, as it allows her to deal 20% more damage for scorched enemies. For a low-star Ever-Burning Blade compared to a 5-star Newborn Blade, 5-star Newborn Blade should be better for Safiyyah. The instant attack by Flying Blade Arm Guard Trinket is able to inflict Scorched. Next, for the possible trinkets depending on situations. The top choice of trinket will be the Flying Blade Arm Guard for Safiyyah. This triggers the settlement of the Hangman for example, able to inflict Scorch if equipped with Ever-Burning Blade. The second will be Roaring Flint. I would consider this the rarer alternative of Flying Blade Arm Guard, but it deals AoE piercing damage. Now for her engravings on the equipment. The top choice will be Sword +1 as she is a melee unit and in the front lines. She will be able to utilize this engraving very well. The next will be Wand +1, another alternative of engraving for Safiyyah as she will be able to make use of it via her basic attack, strike back, assisting attack and skills. The stats that we are looking for in engravings will be physical attack. For Safiyyah's possible tarots, the top choice tarot for Safiyyah will be Cause of Fortune. You have a chance to gain useful buffs including piercing damage buff. This piercing damage can trigger Safiyyah's follow-up attacks. The second one will be a general use tarot, Temptation of the Devil. This benefits both attack and defense stats for Safiyyah. Excellent in scenarios where there is a lot of enemies. These are the random buffs for Cause of Fortunes. That's it for Safiyyah's quick guide and skill showcase. Thanks for watching.